Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name is VinPF, and on today's episode we're going to be going back to Glengoyne in the manner of the Glengoyne 18-year-old. Now, as you may notice, it's a wee sample size. I picked this up when I was in the Glengoyne distillery because I bought a bottle of the Legacy and wanted to just diversify a little bit and get a few other things. I could only afford one bottle, so I thought I would get the limited release one rather than getting something that I could probably get elsewhere. But this would do for a review. Now, this has been sat on my shelf for well over a year. I went to Glengoyne in February of last year. I did a little video of that. It's a bit shaky, a bit amateurish, but it's a good video. I like it. So if you want to go and check that out, please do. But now it's time to check out the 18-year-old of the core range. I have covered the 10 and the 12. So 18, nice progression. Missing out one or two, but, you know, it is what it is. It first released in 2012. It's presented at 43%. Here anyway, and it's roughly £80. Now it's kind of held its value reasonably well over the years. It has been going up a few quid every year, so to speak, but it puts it in a good price bracket with something like the Talisker 18, which I have to say, when I did my review of that at least, it's one of the most well-priced Scotch whiskies of that age group, I have to say. 18-year-old whiskies and above are creeping up a little bit now. It's getting difficult for these guys to put that out consistently. Stocks are running low. NAS is rife, which is not a bad thing in my opinion if it's done well. If they're putting out trash, it's trash. If it's putting out good, it's good. That sort of thing ran over. This is a no added colour, natural colour. Although they don't say anything about chill filtration on this wee bottle. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. 43% probably leans on that they do. Not too bothered about that. It's matured exclusively in sherry casks, first fill and refills. Probably a good proportion of refills to kind of round off those really bold sherry flavours. As we get into the tasting, we'll find out more about that. So then, onto the nose. Now, this really benefits from sitting around on the side. Definitely. It's not a kind of in-your-face sherry. As I mentioned earlier about the cask choices, it's a well-balanced, well-rounded sherried whiskey rather than a quote-unquote sherry bomb. But you are getting a lot of those sherry elements. The dried fruits, raisins. This introduces a little bit of apricot into it. And for me, kind of a citrusy, almost orangey vibe to it. Let's try on the palate. Now, it's a remarkably gentle dram. Really easy drinking. It's got a lot of those flavours from the nose coming through. Those dried fruits, those raisins, those apricots. Those orangey notes almost. But it's got this kind of effervescence, this fizziness about it. That on the finish, although it's fairly short, it's medium-y kind of finish. Very drying as well, but that effervescence stays through. It's a weird spiciness that I would struggle to categorise into words exactly what I mean. Like usually you get things like cinnamon or nutmeg, but it isn't those kinds of things. But it's just a really exceptionally perfectly balanced whiskey. It gives me everything I want it to do. At this point in time, I tend to prefer bold flavours. Good heavy peat, good heavy bourbons, that sort of thing. But I do have to say there's occasion for something that's nice and easy to drink. And I like to have something like this around. I don't have this right now, unfortunately, but it's making me wish I did have a bottle of this. I enjoyed the Legacy. I finished that bottle, no problem. But it's not a patch on something like this, I have to say. So maybe I have to rethink whether I buy a bottle of this or not. Maybe do a re-review in the future. But it is a lot of money. 80 quid is a lot of money for me and for probably a lot of you watching. But if you want a kind of quintessential aged Scotch, you don't want to be challenged too much with the flavour profiles. If you're not into peat, that sort of thing, and you've been looking for something just real quality that you can stick in the back of your cabinet and enjoy over a couple of years, this might be the kind of thing you're after. For me, it's a real winner. Gutted I don't have a big bottle of it, but it's something I'm going to have to look into.